over here in my little, one of my little practice places. Little fun places to play. Also wanting to grab it in second gear. Sometimes when you're at a stoplight, you're waiting on the endless list of traffic, don't you ever just feel like doing a wheelie into the back of the person's car? Just grabbing a big old wheelie, and I think I get that front wheel up on her trunk there, with her wind scoop, so that when her Honda Accord LX is doing over 200 miles per hour, it can keep the back end on the ground. If I could get my front tire up on there, I think I could climb her back in and just roll over the whole car. Oh well, in other news, I had some unfortunate occurrences with Sadie here. Walked out yesterday morning and realized that my front tire was flat. Now I've picked, I don't know if you guys know what goat heads are. I don't even know if that's their real name. That's just what we call them here in Washington, but I wish I had a picture of one right now. I'd show you. They look like thorns, and they do have the shape of a goat head, and they're really strong. They flatten tractor tires, they'll flatten car tires, and they'll flatten motorcycle tires, and I've picked hundreds of them out of my tires from going up in the hills. It's not the trails that get you, it's the clear-cut weeds or just the open fields that have these things all over them. So I've been picking them out of my tires every time I come out of the hills, and I was bragging on the bike thinking, or on the tires, going, hey, well, at least even though there's all these goat heads stuck in there, it's not penetrating the tire because I wasn't losing any air pressure. And then yesterday morning I realized, yeah, it was flat. So fortunately, there is something that is used in ATV tires for just this occasion. It's called green slime. Never heard of it. It's basically fix-a-flat, but for ATV tires, and it's, I don't know, it's supposed to be better than fix-a-flat. So we're going to check it out, see if it works. If not, I guess the next step is having that front tire pulled off and, find it on the inside. So, but we're going to keep fingers crossed that this green slime works and the problem is gone. But at least I know that now. I mean, I was kind of getting the impression that this thing was indestructible because I've pretty much had it in some unreasonable conditions. And it comes through just flying colors, so you get kind of thinking, oh, nothing's going to hurt this thing, or no terrain is going to be a problem for these tires. And while it hasn't been, it's all that cause and effect. Standing out here at Owens Cycle Center here in Yakima, Washington. Happens to be a WRX here. Good looking Supermoto. might be my next bike. A little taller than my T-Dub, a little bigger seat height. And the WRX, of course, is set up with the Supermoto tires, so it's basically an on-road bike that you'd be, on-road sports bike that's built like a dirt bike. I mean, you could take it up in the trails, obviously, but when you look at those Supermoto tires and a setup like that, versus knowing what this TW is capable of, especially for riding around in the snow, I'm gonna have to go with the TW on this one. I think being in the snow with this, not gonna be as fun as on this. That's right, sports fans, there's no sun shining today. It's colder than a polar bear's nuts, and it's even wet and damp outside, which adds to the chill factor. And yet, magically, or more likely due to the gear that I have on, I'm completely warm. Say Mercedes or Acura, whatever the hell you are. Yeah, at the end of October here, getting ready to slide into November, and temperatures are 30, 40 degrees, especially at night. I don't know what it is right now. My guess would be about 48. It's chilly. I know one thing, opening the door to the house, standing there in a t-shirt and just some jeans, yeah, I was like, ooh, it's chilly out. So anyway, I had some new viewers or subscribers asking about the TW, thinking about getting this bike, and they were asking questions like, how's the acceleration in traffic? Does it have better, say, acceleration than a scooter? And thought I'd do this little video here out in rush hour traffic so we could see how the TW does in the madness and chaos that is traffic. And the main thing you want around town, I mean, obviously top speed's no good. Speed limit's 35, 40 mile an hour. And what you want is enough acceleration to be able to get away from the mob. That's what you want. And I feel like this bike has more than enough for all of that. Anything around town, anything up to 65 miles an hour, you're great. Good to go. Any conditions, bring on the snow, no big deal. Not a problem. You can pretty much own traffic as far as when you need to get away from someone, or I mean, that's another thing I like about this bike is you always want to leave yourself an out, a path. You know, if there's an accident in front of this green truck and the green truck were to slam into the other one, and you know, I need a place to go, an out somewhere, and if I had to, I could bounce up on that curb and take the sidewalk, you know. Every place is an out on this thing. far as gas mileage, when you ride it halfway normal, you know, I mean, I wheelie it and, you know, just do whatever I want basically. But if you, even riding it like that, I still get 130 miles out of a tank, and you're only talking about a 1.8 gallon tank. So this thing is very fuel efficient. And if I could ride through a whole tank without doing wheelies and jumping and, you know, off-road type stuff, then I'd probably get 150 out of it, which is amazing. But it's really comfortable for everything around town. The only place this bike is no good is the open road. You know, 65 mile an hour is pretty much your top speed. I mean, it'll run 70, but it feels like you're hurting it. Comfortably about 60 is what you'd want to run, but it would run that all day long. But you wouldn't want to do much more than that on it. This is for around town. It's obviously a trail bike, but it has a great dual purpose, dual sport use for around town.
Okay, so let's say it's 11 o'clock at night, and it's in October, and feels like it wants to snow outside. Feels like it's about 45 degrees. I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. Let's go with 50. Feels like about 50 degrees outside. Let's just say you want to go for a ride, but you think, gee, self, it's cold out there. Do I have the gear that it takes to go for a night ride? Let's find out. First bit of gear you're gonna definitely want to have: Under Armour. This stuff is absolutely magnificent in almost every condition except in the house. You could sweat to death if you wear it in the house. So first layer is going to be this. Ladies, can I get some privacy here? Thanks. There. Now that we've got our superhero look going on, already it's too hot, so you got to start doing stuff quick. Next bit you're going to need, important layer, t-shirt. It doesn't have to be white, but I think and probably the darker colors will probably keep you warmer at night. Anyway, but it is important, an important layer, because it's thin, and it helps keep the heat that this is keeping in your body. It makes a big difference just having one more layer. Plus, as I say, it's thin, so it's not bulky, cumbersome in the way, anything like that. That's another thing, is you want to be able to dress in a way that's obviously warm, but you want to be able to move without being restricted. Next thing, another layer, long sleeve shirt. There. Almost there. Next up, pants. Obviously, using my Field Sheer riding pants. Alright, and as you can see, boots ready to go. My super expensive Supermoto gloves. $9. Took too long getting out of the house. I'm actually standing outside sweating. I'm thankful that I didn't put on another layer. Just beautiful out. Still not sure what the temperature is, but we're about to go find out. Alright, we're coming up on the sign here. Go by the bank, see what the temperature is. Again, my guess is gonna be, I'm gonna still say 50. I'm gonna go even 53 because, of
course, I'm all dressed up now, so I can't really, don't have a good temperature perception. Track 29, everything's closed. See how close I was. Drunk woman walking on the street. TW loves the cold weather though. Alright. Bank says 54 degrees. How do you like that? Alright, I'll get a shot of it. How about that for, what do you want to call it? Luck? We'll call it luck. How about that for luck? 54 degrees. Now this is about, well, this is about what you get in Yakima. As far as, it's mid-October, 54 degrees. This is about a typical night. But it doesn't get a whole lot colder than this. Even in, we'll say, December, January, February, sure, it's going to get down. It'll get down to 30 something then. But that's the extent of it. Oh, would you look at that? Someone was nice enough to dig us a half-pipe trench. Oh, big rocks. I think I was doing some hardcore moto vlogging, but really, I'm just in a Best Buy parking lot.